What's up, everyone? I'm Liam.
And I'm Chloe. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Seriously, thank you for clicking on this episode. If you're new here, Daily Cup English is a podcast where we talk about real-life topics in natural, everyday English. No textbook conversations, just honest talks about things we all go through.
Exactly. We post new episodes every single day, so if you enjoy learning English through real conversations, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and follow us so you don't miss the next episode.
And if you find today's topic helpful, share it with a friend who's always saying, "I'm so busy," but somehow never gets anything done.
Oh, wow. Are we attacking people already?
Not attacking, just gently exposing the truth.
Yeah. Today's topic might feel a little uncomfortable. We're talking about something I think almost everyone struggles with at some point. You're busy, but not productive.
That one hurts.
It does. Have you ever had one of those days where you're running around all day, answering emails, replying to messages, attending meetings, checking things off your to-do list, and then at night you sit down and think, wait, what did I actually accomplish?
Oh, absolutely. I've had whole weeks like that.
Same. You feel exhausted, your brain is tired, but deep inside, you know you didn't really move forward.
Yeah, it's like being on a treadmill. You're moving, you're sweating, you're tired, but you're still in the same place.
That's such a good example. You're active, but not progressing.
So today we're going to talk about that feeling, why we stay busy, why we confuse busyness with productivity, and how we can maybe change that.
And we're not talking as experts. We're talking as two people who still struggle with this.
Very true. I'm not sitting here as some productivity guru. I still waste time, I still procrastinate.
Same. I think that's why this conversation is important, because it's real.
So, Chloe, let me ask you, when was the last time you felt busy but not productive?
Honestly, last week.
That fast?
Yeah. So I had this big project I needed to work on. It's something I've been planning for months. It's important for my career. It's something that could really help me grow.
Sounds serious.
It is. But instead of working on that project, I spent 3 days answering emails.
3 days?
Okay, maybe not 3 full days, but it felt like it. Every time I sat down to start the big project, I'd see a new email notification, and I'd think, oh, let me just reply to this quickly.
The famous just quickly.
Exactly. And then someone would message me, then there was a short meeting, then I needed to update a document, then I reorganized my desk, then I checked social media for 5 minutes, which turned into 30.
Of course.
By the end of the day, I had done maybe 20 small tasks. I was busy all day, I didn't sit still, but the big, important project, I barely touched it.
That's so relatable, and the crazy thing is, at first it feels good. When you reply to emails, you feel responsible. When you attend meetings, you feel involved. When you check things off your list, you feel productive.
Yes, you get that small sense of achievement.
But deep down, you know you're avoiding something bigger.
That's exactly how I felt. I was avoiding the hard, meaningful work. Because the big project required focus. It required deep thinking, and honestly, it was a little scary.
Scary how?
Because if I really tried my best and it failed, that would hurt. But if I never fully worked on it, I could always say, oh, I was just too busy.
Wow, that's honest.
It's uncomfortable to admit, but I think sometimes we stay busy on purpose.
I agree. I had a similar experience a few months ago. I was trying to improve my fitness. I told myself I didn't have time to work out. I said, I'm too busy. I have work, I have responsibilities.
Let me guess, you still had time for other things.
Oh yeah, I had time to watch YouTube, I had time to scroll on my phone, I had time to organize my playlists, but somehow I didn't have 30 minutes to exercise.
That's so real.
One day I actually tracked how I spent my time, and I realized something shocking. I was busy reacting to things all day. Notifications, messages, random requests, but I wasn't deciding what mattered most.
So you were reacting, not leading your own day.
Exactly. My day was controlling me. I wasn't controlling my day.
That's powerful. I think that's the difference between being busy and being productive. When you're busy, you respond to everything. When you're productive, you choose what truly matters.
And choosing is hard, because when you choose one important task, you have to ignore 10 other small tasks.
And ignoring things feels uncomfortable, especially when someone is waiting for a reply.
Right, we don't want people to think we're lazy or slow, so we answer fast, we stay available, we stay active.
But then our real goals stay untouched.
So let me ask you something. At the end of that week, how did you feel?
Tired, frustrated, a little disappointed in myself.
Even though you worked hard?
Yes, that's the strange part. I worked hard. I wasn't lazy. I woke up early. I sat at my desk. I did tasks all day, but I didn't feel proud.
Because effort is not the same as progress.
Exactly. Effort without direction can just make you tired.
That's such an important sentence.
I think many people listening right now understand this feeling. You come home exhausted, but if someone asks, "What did you achieve today?" you struggle to answer.
And sometimes we even say, I was so busy, like it's something to be proud of.
Yeah, in our culture, being busy almost sounds important. Like if you're busy, you must be valuable.
True. If someone says, I'm not that busy, people might think they're not ambitious.
But what if the real question isn't how busy are you, but are you moving closer to your goals?
That changes everything.
It really does. And I had to ask myself that question last week. I looked at my calendar, I looked at my tasks, and I asked, did I move forward in something meaningful?
And?
Honestly, not much, and that was hard to accept.
But at least you became aware of it.
Yes, awareness is the first step. Before, I would just say, oh well, I'm busy, that's life. But now I'm starting to question it.
I think that's what we want to talk about in this episode. Not to make anyone feel guilty, but to gently challenge ourselves.
Because being busy isn't bad. We all have responsibilities. We all have work. The problem is when busyness becomes an excuse.
An excuse to avoid deep work, an excuse to avoid uncomfortable growth.
Or an excuse to avoid asking ourselves what really matters.
So if you're listening right now, maybe think about your last few days. Were you truly productive or just busy?
That's a big question, and we're going to dig deeper into it.
Yeah, because the difference between those two things could change your entire year.
Or even your life.
Okay, that sounds dramatic.
Maybe a little, but also maybe not.
Fair enough.
So let's keep going. Why do we choose busyness over real productivity, and how do we stop doing that?
That's where things get interesting. I think the first reason is fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of doing important work.
That sounds dramatic.
Maybe, but think about it. The most important tasks in our lives are usually the hardest ones.
That's true.
Writing a book, starting a business, applying for a new job, having a serious conversation. Those things require courage.
And they don't give instant results.
Exactly. When you work on something meaningful, you don't always see progress right away. Sometimes you just feel confused.
Or stuck.
Or insecure.
I can relate to that. When I sit down to work on a big project, I sometimes feel uncomfortable, like I'm not good enough, like maybe I don't have the skills.
And instead of facing that feeling, you open your email.
Yes, because emails are easy. They don't judge me.
Emails don't judge you. That's a good one.
But it's true. Small tasks are safe. Important tasks are risky.
That's powerful. Small tasks protect our ego.
Exactly. If I reply to emails all day, no one can say I failed. But if I try something big and it doesn't work, that feels personal.
So busyness becomes a shield.
Yes, a shield against failure.
I think that's why people say they're too busy to follow their dreams.
Because being busy sounds responsible.
And socially acceptable.
No one will criticize you for being busy, but they might criticize you for trying something new and failing.
That's sad but true.
So fear is one reason. What's another?
Distraction culture.
Oh yes, the world is designed to keep us distracted.
Every app wants your attention. Every notification feels urgent. Every platform wants you to stay longer.
Sometimes I feel like my phone controls me.
Same. I tell myself I'll check something for 2 minutes. Suddenly it's 20.
Or 40.
Or an hour.
And the crazy thing is, scrolling feels like doing something. You're reading, watching, reacting.
Your brain is active, but you're not creating anything.
That's such an important difference, consuming versus creating.
Yes. When you're busy consuming content, you feel informed, you feel connected, but your own goals stay on pause.
I once spent an entire evening watching productivity videos.
That's ironic.
Very ironic. I was learning how to be productive instead of actually doing my work.
That's the trap. It feels useful, but it's still avoidance.
I think distraction is dangerous because it's normal now. Everyone is distracted, so it doesn't feel like a problem.
Right. If everyone around you is always checking their phone, you don't feel different.
But deep work requires focus, and focus is rare.
So instead of protecting our focus, we protect our availability.
What do you mean?
We want to reply fast. We want to answer immediately. We want to be reachable all the time,
That's so true. Sometimes I feel pressure to respond within minutes.
even if the message is not urgent.
Exactly. And every time you stop your important work to reply, your brain needs time to refocus.
Which makes real productivity even harder.
So, fear and distraction. I think there's one more big reason.
Let me guess. Looking productive?
Yes.
We want to appear busy.
Especially in work environments. If you look busy, people think you're working hard.
If you're always in meetings, always typing, always moving, you look important.
But sometimes the most productive work looks boring or slow.
That's so true. Someone sitting quietly, thinking deeply, might be doing the most valuable work in the room.
But it doesn't look impressive.
It doesn't create noise.
I remember in my old job, there was this culture where everyone talked about how busy they were.
Like a competition?
Yes, people would say, I only slept 5 hours, or I have back-to-back meetings all day.
That's not something to be proud of.
I know, but it became normal. If you said, I had a calm day, people looked at you like, are you even working?
Wow.
So sometimes we stay busy because we want validation.
We want others to see our effort.
Yes, even if that effort isn't moving us forward.
That reminds me of something. When I started working from home, I felt guilty if I wasn't constantly doing something.
Why?
Because no one could see me working, so I tried to look busy online, sending messages, updating status, being active.
Instead of focusing on meaningful output.
Exactly. I confused visibility with productivity.
That's such a modern problem.
It really is.
So let's summarize this. We stay busy because important work is scary, we stay busy because distractions are everywhere, and we stay busy because looking busy gives us social approval.
When you say it like that, it sounds almost logical.
It does. It's not that we're lazy, it's that we're human.
And the system around us encourages busyness.
Yes, but at some point, we have to take responsibility.
That's the hard part.
Because if we keep living like this for years, we might wake up one day and realize we were always active but never intentional.
That's a scary thought.
It is, but maybe it's also motivating.
I think so, because once you understand the reasons, you can start changing them.
Exactly. You can't fix something if you don't know why it's happening.
So now the big question is, how do we stop being busy and start being truly productive?
Yes, what practical changes can we make?
Let's get into that. So how do we stop being busy and actually become productive?
I think we need simple rules, not 20 tips, just a few that really work.
I like that. Keep it simple.
Okay, I'll start with something that changed my life recently.
That sounds dramatic again.
I know, but it's true. I started choosing one big task per day.
Just one?
Just one main task. Before I check emails, before I open social media, before I respond to random messages.
And you do it first?
Yes, first thing in the morning when my brain is fresh.
That makes sense. Your energy is higher in the morning.
Exactly. I realized that if I don't protect the first 2 hours of my day, they disappear.
That's so true. The morning can either build your future or it can get stolen by notifications.
That's why I turn off notifications until I finish my main task.
You actually turn them off?
Yes, I put my phone in another room sometimes.
Wow, that's serious.
It sounds extreme, but it works. If the phone is next to me, I will check it. I know myself.
I respect that honesty.
What about you? Do you have any strategy?
Yeah, mine is similar. I call it the one meaningful win.
I like that name.
Every day I ask myself, what is one thing that would make today successful? Not 10 things, just one.
And if you finish that one thing, you feel productive?
Yes, even if the rest of the day is messy, even if unexpected tasks appear, if I complete that meaningful win, I know I moved forward.
That's powerful, because life is unpredictable. You can't control everything.
Exactly, but you can control one important action.
That's the difference. Instead of reacting all day, you decide your priority in advance.
Yes, you design your day before the world starts attacking you.
Before the world starts attacking you, that's dramatic.
It feels like that sometimes.
Honestly, yes.
Another thing that helped me is time blocking.
Oh, I love time blocking.
For people who don't know, it's basically scheduling specific time for specific tasks.
Instead of just writing a long to-do list.
Exactly. The to-do list can be endless, but time is limited.
That's such a good point. We plan tasks, but we don't plan time.
So now if I want to work on something important, I block 90 minutes on my calendar. It's like a meeting with myself.
I do the same thing, and I treat it like a real meeting. I don't cancel it unless it's truly urgent.
That requires discipline.
It does, but if you don't respect your own time, no one else will.
Wow, that's deep.
I learned that the hard way.
I think another important skill is saying no.
Oh yes, that's a big one.
Sometimes we're busy because we agree to everything.
Every invitation, every request, every extra task.
Because we want to be helpful, or we don't want to disappoint people.
But every time you say yes to something small, you might be saying no to something important.
That's painful but true.
I used to say yes to every meeting at work, even if I didn't really need to be there.
Why?
Because I didn't want to seem uninterested. But then I realized some meetings were not necessary for me. I could read a summary later.
So what did you do?
I started asking, do I really need to be there? And sometimes the answer was no.
That must have been uncomfortable.
Very. At first, I felt guilty, but then I saw how much time I gained.
And you used that time for important work?
Yes, for deeper tasks, for thinking, for planning.
I think we underestimate the power of focus.
Definitely. In a distracted world, focus is like a superpower.
That should be a quote.
You can write it down.
I will.
Another thing that helped me is asking myself one question at the end of the day.
What question?
Asking, did I move forward today?
Simple, but strong.
It doesn't ask, was I busy? It asks, did I make progress?
And what if the answer is no?
Then I don't judge myself. I just try to adjust tomorrow.
That's important, because if you feel too guilty, you might give up.
Exactly. Productivity is not about being perfect every day. It's about direction over time.
Direction over time. I like that.
Think about it. If you move one step forward every day for a year, that's huge progress.
But if you run in circles every day for a year, you're just tired.
That's the difference between busy and productive.
So let's recap the practical steps. One big task per day, protect your focus, use time blocking, learn to say no, and reflect at the end of the day.
Yes, and I would add one more thing.
What's that?
Be honest with yourself.
That might be the hardest one.
It is, because sometimes we know exactly what we should be doing, we just don't want to admit it.
Like going to the gym instead of watching another episode.
Or working on your dream project instead of reorganizing your desktop files.
Hey, my desktop organization is very important.
I'm sure it is.
But yeah, I get your point.
At the end of the day, productivity is not about doing more, it's about doing what matters.
And that requires courage.
And discipline.
And maybe a little less scrolling.
Definitely less scrolling.
So if someone listening right now feels busy but stuck, what would you tell them?
I would say choose one thing, just one, and start there tomorrow.
Not 10 things, not a complete life change.
No, just one meaningful action.
I like that. It feels realistic.
Because big change starts with small, intentional decisions.
Okay, now I feel motivated.
Good, me too.
And hopefully our listeners feel a little challenged, in a good way.
Yeah, not guilty, just aware.
Because awareness leads to change.
Exactly.
All right, I think we're getting close to wrapping up.
Yeah, let's bring it home.
All right, before we wrap up, I think this is a good moment to slow down a little.
Yeah, let's not rush the ending.
We've talked about fear, distraction, looking busy, and some practical steps, but I want to ask something deeper.
Go ahead.
If you continue living the way you are right now, same habits, same schedule, same distractions, where will you be 1 year from now?
That's a powerful question.
It's not meant to scare anyone, but it's real.
I actually asked myself that recently. I looked at how I was spending my days. A lot of small tasks, a lot of scrolling, a lot of reacting.
And what did you realize?
If I kept going like that for a year, nothing big would change. I would be tired, maybe stressed, but not transformed.
That word transformed is important.
Yeah, because I don't just want to be busy for the rest of my life. I want growth. I want improvement.
I think most people do, but growth requires intention.
And attention.
That's good. Growth requires intention and attention.
You can't grow if your attention is always somewhere else.
So maybe a better question for our listeners is this: what did you actually move forward this week?
Not what did you finish, not what did you reply to, but what did you move forward?
Did you take one step toward your goal? Did you improve one skill? Did you have one important conversation?
Or did you just survive the week?
Oof, that one hits.
And again, this isn't about pressure. Some weeks are hard. Sometimes surviving is enough.
That's true. Life is not always about achievement.
But if every week becomes just survival mode, something is wrong.
Yeah, because time keeps moving.
That's the scary part. Time moves whether we are intentional or not.
And busyness can trick us. It makes us feel like we're doing something meaningful with our time.
But feeling productive and being productive are not always the same.
I remember a quote I once heard: "Don't confuse motion with progress."
That's perfect for this topic.
You can be in motion all day long, but if you're moving in circles, you're not getting anywhere.
So maybe tonight after this episode, our listeners can take 5 minutes
Just 5 minutes.
and ask themselves, what truly matters to me right now?
And then ask, am I giving that thing my best energy?
Not leftover energy, not end of the day energy, but real focused energy.
That question alone can change your schedule.
It changed mine when I realized I was giving my best energy to emails and my worst energy to my dreams. I felt disappointed.
That's honest.
But it also woke me up. I thought, why am I treating my goals like an afterthought?
That's such a good way to say it, an afterthought.
Yeah, like something I'll get to when everything else is done.
But everything else is never fully done.
Exactly. There's always another email, another message, another small task.
So if you wait until you're not busy, you might wait forever.
Which means you have to create space on purpose.
Even if it feels uncomfortable.
Especially if it feels uncomfortable.
I think that's the turning point, when you choose discomfort today for a better future tomorrow.
Instead of choosing comfort today and regret tomorrow.
Wow, that's strong.
But it's true. I don't want to look back in 5 years and realize I was always busy but never brave.
Never brave. I like that.
Because sometimes productivity is about courage. The courage to focus, the courage to say no, the courage to try.
And maybe the courage to slow down.
Yes, slow down and think instead of constantly reacting.
So if you're listening right now and you feel called out, it's okay.
We're calling ourselves out too.
Definitely.
This conversation is for us as much as it is for you.
So here's a simple challenge. Tomorrow, choose one meaningful action.
Protect time for it.
And when the day ends, ask yourself, did I move forward?
Not perfectly, not completely, just forward.
Because small forward steps repeated daily create big change over time.
And that's what real productivity looks like.
I really like conversations like this.
Me too. They make me reflect on my own habits.
Same, and I hope everyone listening is reflecting a little too.
Yeah, not feeling guilty, just thinking.
There's a big difference between guilt and awareness.
Exactly. Guilt makes you stuck. Awareness helps you grow.
So if there's one thing we want you to remember from today's episode, it's this: being busy is not the same as being productive.
Being busy feels good in the moment.
But being productive changes your future.
And real productivity doesn't mean doing more, it means doing what matters most.
Even if it's uncomfortable.
Especially if it's uncomfortable.
So tomorrow, don't try to change your entire life.
Just choose one meaningful action.
Protect time for it.
And at the end of the day, ask yourself, did I move forward?
If the answer is yes, even a little, that's a win.
Small progress is still progress.
And small progress repeated daily becomes big results over time.
We really hope this episode gave you something to think about.
And if it did, don't forget to subscribe to Daily Cup English.
Yes, we post new podcast episodes every single day where we talk about real-life topics in natural, everyday English.
So if you want to improve your English while also improving your mindset,
this is the place for you.
make sure you follow the channel so you don't miss tomorrow's episode.
And if you enjoyed this conversation, share it with a friend who always says, "I'm so busy."
Maybe they need to hear this too.
Or maybe you can listen together and talk about it.
That would be cool.
All right, Liam, any final words?
Just this, don't let your life be full of motion but empty of progress.
Wow, ending with a strong sentence.
I had to.
I like it. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
We appreciate you.
Take care of your time. It's your most valuable resource.
And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.